Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, before I forget, watch this. Hey Google, set alarm for 11:55 a.m. this morning only. There, your alarm is set for 11:55 a.m. You know, I've been doing this for about a year now, and I'm still mind-boggled at the technology. It recognizes my voice. and with this new artificial intelligence that they're developing, where it not only will hear your voice and stuff like that, it will also start thinking and planning, and yeah, it's amazing. It's good, and it's good, and it's disconcerting. Okay, so why do I want to set an alarm for 11:55 this morning, just before 12 noon my time? Well, what happens is Peter in Oscale Modeling puts out a live show on Fridays, and I almost always miss it. And what happens is I'll get through my day, and I will go and I'll sit down at the computer. It's at 12 noon? I wonder if that's a mistake, because usually it's about 2 in the afternoon. Well, maybe he's moved it up a little bit. And anyway, I'm sitting down at the computer doing my final edit, and I turn on the computer, and a little notification goes across the screen. You know, like I know my phone will notify me too. It'll say, "Hey," but quite often it's a notification for something that might be of interest on the other side of the world. You know, so I just sort of ignore it. And anyway, a notification goes across the bottom of my screen. Peter's live show is on. So, oh yeah. So I'll click on it, and I'm usually on there right about the time he's saying, "Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow." Well, he doesn't say that, but I do. Anyway, yeah. So I miss it. So I want to try and catch the beginning, so I can type in there, "Greetings from Winnipeg." Yeah, some of the viewers, I know Jeff Donahue, he's always on there with his nice little comments and so on. And somebody was saying, in fact, I've been asked this a couple of times, or more than a couple of times in the last few years, why don't you have a live show? You know, if you had, and you know, that's just not me. It's not me. I'm sort of intimidated by other people. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do know why. I think I'm intimidated because I'm generally in with a bunch of people that are a lot more talented in the particular field that we're talking about. Give you an example. I think it was yesterday or the day before I was mentioning about my wife's Alzheimer's. Well, when Mary first went into the care home, this would be about 7 years ago now, 7 years ago, one of my brother-in-laws says, we have what is known as the men's breakfast. And what the men's breakfast was, there's probably about, I'm guessing 100 guys that all got together, and they would have a breakfast in this gymnasium. I think it was once a week. And anyway, it was kind of nice. So I went, and I only went twice. But what happened was they'd had a whole bunch of big round tables set up, and about 10 people at each table, and it was sort of a self-serve, like a cafeteria. Oh, Missy's at the door. I'll be back in a moment. Remind me what I was talking about. Come on in, Missy.
Oh, wait here, it's okay.
Come on in. Yes. How are you doing? Okay. Now she's gonna be on YouTube again. My camera's still running.
There might have been a fox along there's tracks up and down that look like in a straight line.
Oh yeah?
And Max says, that's
Well, I could have been a fox. Okay, I better get that.
Yeah.
Okay, off you go. Okay, I'm coming back. I just gotta wipe the dog slime off my hands here. Okay, this is completely unscripted. This was not planned. It's not like I phoned the neighbor and said, send Missy by to make something of interest. Okay, if this doesn't turn out, I'll edit it out, but I think it'll be okay. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so we get to this men's breakfast, and we're all sitting around, and we got, some of us have like interests, but what I was finding was, it was I don't know if I'm allowed to use this phrase on YouTube or not, but I felt it was sort of like a pissing contest, you know. Well, I can't tinkle too far. And some of these people I was sitting around with were, you know, very successful, what I consider smart, powerful people. And I kind of felt, you know, intimidated, for lack of a better expression. I am much better at doing a show like this, where I can eventually edit out what I don't like, which isn't very much. I mean, very seldom do I edit anything out, unless I was to forget to focus the camera really badly or something like that. Every once in a while I will forget to stop it down so that the depth of field is good, but generally speaking, I very seldom edit anything out. You get to see it as it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I've said before. So, yeah, so that's why I don't have a live show, I guess. Oh, 59 grams. This is number 3. You know what? Gabe sent the recipe for these. Maybe what I'll do right now is I'm going to put it on the screen, and I'm going to leave it only up for about 5 seconds or so. So if you want to copy the recipe down, you're going to want to have to pause your screen and copy it. I can't. It's a picture, so I can't email it to you. Anyway, apparently that's the recipe for these muffins. So thanks, Gabe. Thanks, Mrs. Gabe. I can't say his last name. That's okay. He has trouble saying mine too. But I've said this before. The name Calverley, there's actually a town in the UK called Calverley. And you know, you'd think that people in the UK would have no trouble saying it. But they can't say it either. It's too much like other words. Anyway, I've talked about that before. Let's try and get our plane done. You will notice I've got one laying here that's completed. Well, this was the second one. I went ahead and stuck it together. But we'll do the last 3. I think there's only 3 more pieces to put on this one. We'll put the macro lens on here, and we'll get them on and get it over with. I'd actually like to talk about the painting today. You know, I know it's supposed to be 2 colors. That is supposed to, when you look up at it, it's supposed to be a light color, sort of an off-white. One of the viewers did tell me which one it is, but I don't have it, and I'm not going to be jumping in the car and driving down to Hobby Sense or anywhere to get it. So we're just going to do what we can do here. It could be that I don't have anything that's appropriate, and I will have to get out. Now, mind you, today, tomorrow, and the next day, at least according to yesterday's weather forecast, is supposed to be nice. So it's not like I can't get out. I don't know. I don't know what's the matter with me. If I can't go on my scooter, I don't want to go. Okay, let's recompose here. This is probably going to be one of the longest opening scenes we've ever had. Yeah, let's get our macro lens on and move in. Okay, I've taped the wingtips down. Remember when I was doing the other one yesterday, I was having difficulty keeping it in the same place. Not that it mattered, because I wasn't videoing it anyway, but I was trying to sort of practice, you might say. And I was having trouble with everything moving around, whereas right now it's sort of fastened here. Now, there's a slot right here, and then there's another one back here somewhere. One, I think it's right there, yeah. And the idea is that this one here goes in the front, and this one here sort of goes in the back, and this one here in the middle, it just sort of, well, it didn't really glue in place on the other one, so we're just going to do a bit of a dry run here. I'm just going to pause for a moment here and put my other glasses on. Now, as for our sunrise, well, it was cloudy again this morning, and nothing much to see as far as the sunrise goes. And I'm noticing that our walkers are separated a little bit by a bit of distance. And yeah, I can almost hear the conversation. Now, I have to sort of ad-lib a little bit here, but yeah, it sort of probably went something like this. Come on, Bridget, you can make it. Yeah, but it's slippery. No, you're doing really good. You only fell down twice this time. Yeah, but I hurt my knee. Oh, come on, it'll get better. Well, maybe that's not what was going on, but, you know, I had a little bit of fun with it, didn't I? Okay, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Maybe we'll get to see the sunrise tomorrow. You never know. Weatherman's predicting sun, so as long as it's in the morning, we'll get to see the sunrise, right? Right. Okay, let's make sure this isn't going to be a disaster now. I think if I can hold it like this and get this swung around here, I'm just going to have to reposition off camera, I think. Now, where's that slot? I think it's right there. Yeah, that's it. And the one on the back, I believe, is right here. Now I'm going to moisten the connections on the float here. Okay, now don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. Okay, does it look like the back one's in place? Yeah, it does actually. Just trying to wiggle it down into the connection now. I don't want to go pressing too hard and end up having it slump over. Right now it is, I'm looking straight down on it. And it looks perfect. Oh, maybe a little bit to the right here, maybe. Okay. No, you know what? That's not right. That should be, that one in the center, it should be touching the belly of the fuselage, and it's not. What is wrong here? I wonder if the one in the back is supposed to act as a rudder. That's why it's so wide and flat. It's just not quite right. The one in the front is okay, but unless I don't have them in the right place, but I guess that's as good as it's going to go. The only other thing I could do maybe is take the float off and nip off just a little bit, because I don't think that's supposed to be. What's the problem there? It almost looks like there's sprue connection or something on that one on the back. I'm going to just take, well, no, I better not. I better just put it back on. Let me just rehydrate the back here. Oh my, it's out of the field of view. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay. I was just noticing here that I've kind of covered up the slot with the tape that we have to, the slot that we have to put the wing float in here. Just move it over just a little bit. Just hold it down in place, that'll work. Okay. Alrighty, what time we got here? 11:42. Hey! Mmm. Okay, we're just gonna do a bit of a dry run here. I think that's gonna fit in that slot okay. You know what the hardest part is right now? Not running to the fridge and getting muffin number 4. But I'm gonna control myself. You know, I am noticing that this plastic does not have the dissolving properties that the ordinary sprue does. It seems to be harder or something. Okay, I'm going to put some on the bottom of the... Okay, that's more than enough. Oh yeah, let's get a little bit off of there. Let it wick off. Okay. Sometimes placing things with the tweezers does not work out as well as if you just push down with your finger and sort of rock it in, get it down into the slot. I think I did a better job here. Oh, it's slumping to the left, like towards you. That does look to be more or less perpendicular to the bottom of the wing. So that'll be all right. Yeah, once that evaporates, it's going to melt really well. I hope. Should be fairly strong. Now I'm going to do the one on the other side exactly the same way. So yeah, we'll just quickly get it done here, and then we'll put the prop on. Then we're ready to talk paint. Well, it's kind of nice to see the sun is coming in across the model table again. All right, we're going to let gravity be our friend here. And I haven't tried this. This is actually going to be the first time, so I'm hoping that the propeller is going to fit down into the hole in the cowling there in the front of the engine. All right, let's stick on the macro lens and see what we got here. That actually fit quite well. I think we'll have it at a bit of an angle. I don't know. It could be that on the real ship when they stored it, they would have moved the prop so it would have been maybe horizontal like this, or maybe vertical. Depends. what they like the best. Anyway, let's get our macro lens back on. Oh, I dropped the propeller. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the propeller shaft. Okay, I think we're still lubricated here. Okay, I'm going to put it at about a 45-degree angle instead of straight one way or the other. Let me check the yeah, that looks pretty square. Now, for the other one, the other plane that is not going to have a propeller, I think it was Kevin says you could just say that it was, you know, in for repair or off for repair. And yeah, that's probably what it was. I think in all likelihood what happened was the last time they used that plane, when they were taking off, there was a lot of that salt spray, and you know, the tips of these propellers on the real ones, they're actually going pretty much almost the speed of sound. And you get salt spray hitting that at, salt water spray hitting those at, you know, the speed of sound. The tips get very, very pitted. And I think they took it off, and Barnacle Bill was busy trying to reshape it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, I think this is going to be all right. Yep, that's going to be okay. Now, in case you're wondering, I was able to catch the beginning of Peter's show. I thought it was going to be a live show, but it was a premiere. That's okay. I got to say hello to Peter, and he said hello back, or something like that. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a coffee visitor, and today is Friday, so hey, gotta cut her off. Well, I guess we'll be talking paint tomorrow. For sure. I mean, that's all that's left. Unless I have an accident here. I'm going to be careful. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.